The cow is made with a bucket, as you would see it in a milking station in the barn. The bucket goes under the cow's udders on top of another bucket, which is really a reservoir. That is made to hold water and also holds a pump and a float leveler to bring water through the leg into the reservoir that's up in the udder. The cow actually comes sealed looking like this. If you ever have to open up the cow to get into the udder, you undo the screw that's right here, and this will come out, and the upper reservoir is visible to fix or see what's wrong. Okay, now let's go back to the lower reservoir that holds the water that feeds the udders through the sump pump that once again goes through the legs into the upper reservoir. The lower reservoir has a sump pump and a float cutoff switch so that it would not have too much water, and if it needs more water, the sump pump will be sent up to the upper reservoir.
Hello. In order to fill this cow, when you get it from the factory, you're going to fill the lower reservoir with water up to the blue arrow. The blue arrow will sit here. Now the pump will begin after you plug it in. If you plug it into the 220 current, the pump will pull the water from this reservoir and deposit it in here. You will then refill it to the blue line, and that will be enough water to use the cow. You'll want to check it regularly. At that point, you will find the water level lying between these two marks, the blue mark and the red mark. If the water level is near the red mark, you'll want to fill the bucket to the red mark. If the water level is at the blue mark, then you'll want to fill it to the higher mark. So, and if it's in between, you put it right in between. If there's an overflow, if you put too much water in, you'll find the water will just pour out of this overflow back in the bucket. Take a cup and collect the water and throw it away. What we have to show you is a simplification of what we felt was a little complex in the system to make this thing work on automatic. So we have a switch on the inside that goes under the bucket. When that switch is on mode, we are now in a manual mode. So the bucket, this one has nothing in it, but you could see the sump pump and you can see the float switch. It's on the manual mode. So you don't have to worry about anything except you press this button and you will hear the sump pump go on, which will then refill the upper reservoir so that you don't have to worry about how much water is in there or anything else. If it doesn't fill up, then you know you have to add water. It's as simple as that.
And just by releasing this, it will turn off the sump pump, and there's no chance of burning it.
Hello, I'm Davis, one of the engineers on the Milk and Cow project. If your cow fails to have liquid coming out of the two nipples, then it may be the pump needs to be replaced. The screen may become clogged. If you clean the screen, it should pump again. If it doesn't, then it could be the valve. This valve needs to float and sink with the level of water. So that needs to be checked. Make sure that this is moving as you fill it and empty the bottle, empty the water out of here. You can also use a voltmeter to find out if there's voltage coming from the switch to the pump. If you find the pump is bad, merely disconnect the two wires and reconnect to the pump as is shown, and you'll be back working again. Now, eventually, the children, the people, your customers will damage the nipple. If this hole gets too big, water will continue to flow out and keep the pump running. So you will have to get these nipples and pull the bottle out from its position in here, lift it up very carefully, take the old nipple off, they're very tight and they will last a very long time. So you'll take it off by pulling it like that, and then put the new one on. It may take two people to do this because they are very tight. And that's it. Then slide it back into here.